Your past defines you. It does not justify you. Read that once more. Because far too many people are hiding behind yesterday to avoid taking responsibility for today. What happened to you matters. It's significant. But what you do with what happened to you matters even more. It's the single most important decision you will ever make. It shapes not just your present, but the entire trajectory of your future. Think about it. We all carry stories, chapters written by circumstances we didn't choose. Some pages are filled with pain, others with missed opportunities, and many with lessons learned the hard way. These experiences are the raw material that forges our identity. They give us context, they explain our sensitivities, our fears, and even our strengths. But there's a critical line that often gets blurred. The line between explanation and excuse. Yes, your past explains why you might struggle with trust, why you might fear failure, or why you have certain triggers. It gives a reason for the starting point you find yourself at. However, it is never a permission slip to stay there. It is not a permanent hall pass to avoid the hard work of healing, growing, and building a better life. Suffering molds people. Trauma leaves its scars. Circumstances absolutely influence behavior. That is the undeniable truth. No one can or should dismiss the weight of what you've been through. Your pain is valid. Your struggle is real. But here is the uncomfortable reality that we have to confront if we truly want to move forward. If your past is your permanent excuse, it will also be your permanent prison. You find yourself saying, I can't do this because I was never taught self-discipline, or I'll never be successful because I wasn't shown what consistency looks like. Perhaps it's, I'm stuck because I was never given the same opportunities as others. All of those statements might be factually true. They are valid observations of your history. But staying broken because you were once hurt is a choice. It's a quiet, often subconscious choice, but a choice nonetheless. It's the decision to let the wound define you, rather than the healing. Your past explains the injury, that's true. It does not, however, justify a refusal to seek the cure. The moment you start using your history as a shield against personal responsibility, you hand over all your power to the very things that hurt you. You become a passive character in your own life story, forever reacting to a script written long ago instead of grabbing the pen and writing the next chapter yourself. So why does it feel so good to stay in that place? Why is blame so seductive? It's simple. Blame is a comfort blanket. Blame whispers sweet nothings in your ear. It says, it's not my fault. It says, I was powerless. It says, this is just how my life is, and there's nothing I can do about it. Blame is the ultimate pressure release valve. It instantly absolves you of all accountability. And if you're not accountable, you don't have to change. You don't have to do the hard, messy, uncomfortable work of self-reflection and personal growth. You can remain exactly where you are, justified in your inaction. But here's what blame also does. It strips you of everything that matters. It takes away your power. The very second you point a finger and blame something external, your upbringing, your ex, your boss, the system, you surrender control over your own future. You are essentially saying, my happiness and success depend on something outside of me, something I cannot change. And that comfort you feel, it comes at the highest possible price. It costs you your potential. It costs you clarity. It costs you the person you were always meant to become. You trade the possibility of a powerful future for the hollow comfort of a justified past. It's a terrible bargain, one that millions of people make every single day without even realizing it. They choose the familiarity of their cage over the uncertainty of freedom. This is where we need to redefine a crucial word: responsibility. Responsibility is not the same as guilt. Guilt is about looking backward and assigning fault. It's a heavy, unproductive emotion. Responsibility, on the other hand, is about looking forward. Responsibility means power, it means control. When you finally stand up and declare, this is my life, this is my problem, therefore, this is my responsibility, that is the moment everything changes. It's a seismic shift in your entire universe, because now, you can act. Now, you can make adjustments. Now, you can build. Now, you are in the driver's seat. Responsibility doesn't ask if life was fair. Frankly, responsibility doesn't care if life was fair. Life isn't fair for most people. Responsibility asks a much more powerful question: what are you going to do about it now? And that single question is what separates victims from victors. It separates those who are defined by their circumstances from those who define themselves in spite of their circumstances. Taking responsibility doesn't mean what happened wasn't wrong or painful. It means acknowledging that pain, honoring that struggle, and then making the conscious choice to be the hero of your own story, not the victim. The moment you embrace this radical ownership of your life, the transformation is immediate and profound. All the fog of confusion begins to lift because standards start to emerge. You're no longer adrift, you have a code to live by. The chaos in your mind begins to subside because your identity starts to solidify. You are no longer just a collection of things that happen to you. You are a person who is actively choosing who to become. You stop asking the powerless question, "Why did this happen to me?" And you start asking the powerful question, "What do I do next?" That is the shift, from past focused to future-oriented. From passive to active, from excuse to action. Your past explains where you came from. It shows the battles you fought. But your actions today, your choices right now, in this very moment, that is what determines who you are and where you are going. Your past is your story. It is not your sentence. You hold the pen. Write a new ending. Thanks for watching.